Once upon a time, Hire, a beautiful young 18-year-old girl, lived in a village called Abule. She is the signature of all highs around the village and other surrounding villages. Men from the village and even visitors are often mesmerized by her glossy skin and big smile. She has a large heart and she's very intelligent too. Her parents are well-to-do merchants who travel often, living away with the housemaids and the guards in their home. She is the only child. Hiri has complained of being lonely to her parents, but they always tell her to maintain a good relationship with the guards and maids. While Hiri have good relationship with people around her, she's missing the motherly and fatherly care she needs at her age, and all her complaints fell on deaf ears. So, despite her smiley face, Hiri is very lonely, and soon she began to keep different kinds of friends. Hiri has always been an introvert, but soon she began to go wild and keep late nights with her new friends. Sometimes she ends up sleeping in her friend's place, and when the maids try to stop her, she would give them some money and tell them not to tell her parents. One day, her friend Ife introduced her to a man, Ola. Ola is 10 years older than Hiri, and he promised to take good care of her if she accepts to be his wife. Hiri didn't give him any response at first. The next day, she opened up to Ife that she's still a virgin and she plans on keeping herself chaste until marriage. Ife was surprised to hear this, and she advised that she accept Ola's proposal. Ife, who is only 23 years old, believes Ire has done well by keeping herself chaste, and the best thing to do is to get married to avoid losing it. Ire did not know what to do. She needed her mother's advice so much, but she wouldn't be available until a few weeks later. She considered Ife as a good friend and decided to go with her advice. A few days later, she met Ola and told him that she's ready to marry him. Ola was very happy to hear the good news. Soon, wedding preparations began. Her parents weren't in support of her getting married to Ola because he seemed older and may have been married before. Her parents did everything to stop her, but Ire's mind was made up and she doesn't want to spend the next month in her parents' home. The wedding took place a few weeks later and it was a big one. Dignitaries from different villages were present. After the wedding, Ire got to Ola's house, a very beautiful place. His mother lives a few houses from their home and she was there to welcome Ire. After the first few months of the wedding, Ola's mom was good to her daughter-in-law Ire. But after a year of marriage without childbirth, she began to treat Ire with disdain. She would deliberately come to Ire's home and send her on unnecessary errands. After that, she would give her clothes to wash. She would call her different names such as barren witch, prostitute, and she would blame her for not giving her son a child. Hiri would cry and cry, but she never told her husband about his mom's maltreatment. 3 years later, Hola got back from work to find Iwe crying and his mother screaming at the top of her voice. His mom had told all the maid and guards to take the day off, and she asked Iwe to do all the house chores they were supposed to do. She fell and broke a pot while filling a drum with water, and her mother-in-law wouldn't stop insulting her. Ola pleaded with his mom to forgive Iwe and he asked her to go inside. When inside, he blamed Iwe for breaking the pot of water and crying like a baby. He told her, I expect you to start behaving like an adult if you want my mother to stop treating you like a baby. How can you break a pot when you are not a child? Harry explained that she slept because she was tired, but he asked her to keep quiet and do the right thing. Iwe then asked Ola if he has always known that his mother blames her for their childlessness, and Ola replied, My love, I know it is not your fault, and I'm working on how to solve it as soon as possible. Bear with my mother and don't make her angry or unhappy, and you will be fine. But how come am I the only one being blamed for her childlessness? This is unfair and I can't take it anymore. Hiri replied, I understand, my love. Just give me a little time and all this will be over. Instead of changing for the better, Ola would join his mother in abusing Iri after coming back from work, and Iri would cry again. Iri wasn't in the right frame of mind, and her mother-in-law and husband's constant maltreatment and abuse has made her become a shadow of herself. She looks unkempt and is often carried away anywhere she is. She couldn't even see her parents to explain what she's going through because they are always on the move. When she finally confided in Ife about her husband and mother's constant abuse, she advised her to endure and give him some time to come around. At the fifth year of their wedding, Ola came back home one day and he sent Ire packing. He told her that he has had enough of her childlessness and barrenness. He also informed her that he has gotten a new wife who is pregnant for him and she'll be coming in soon. Hiri couldn't believe it because she knows Ola has erectile dysfunction. So how could he impregnate someone? When she asked, Ola replied that he has been undergoing treatment for a long time and is finally healed. When Hiri got home, her parents tried to intervene by inviting Ola over. When he got there, he blamed Ire for not being able to conceive because she did not allow him to be intimate with her for 5 years. He said he had to bring her home when he has had enough. Her parents were surprised to hear this. Her mother-in-law also accused her of sleeping with young boys around the community when her husband is at work, which explains why she denies her son at night. Ire couldn't believe all these lies. She knows Ola's condition and did not tell anyone because she was waiting for him to get well so they can try to conceive. But she understands better now that her husband did not love her from the onset because he impregnated someone else. Now that his erectile dysfunction issue has been solved. Niwe did not say anything as her parents blamed her for losing her home. She then understands that the constant maltreatment did not come from a place of love but hatred. Niwe then decided that she would always love herself and wouldn't give anyone a chance to treat her that way anymore. She visited Ife to inform her of her mother-in-law and husband's decision to send her away. Ife was very pissed and even said she was going to send some boys to beat Ola and his mom up, but Iwe pleaded with him not to do that. Ife then informed Iwe that she would be getting married in her grandmother's far village in a few days' time, but she would understand if Iwe doesn't want to attend because of her present situation. Iwe then also informed her that she is also leaving the village to somewhere far to start her life afresh because staying back would affect her emotionally. Ife supported her decision and the two friends hugged and cried, but they promised to keep in touch. 2 years later, Iwe had gotten married again. Despite being unable to conceive for 2 years, her husband never mentioned it and his mother took great care of her like her own child. She would even pray for her and tell her that only God gives children and she would conceive at the right time. She had peace of mind and lived happily with her new family. Now that she has given birth to twins, she sent a message to her best friend and asked her to come celebrate with her at her parents' place. Ife was happy for her friend, but she couldn't attend the event because she just got chased out of Ola's home. Yes, she got married to Ola, Ire's ex-husband. Ola has been searching for Ire, so when he heard the news that she visited her parents, he quickly went to visit her. He pleaded with Ire to forgive him and come back to him, but she told him she is already married and God has blessed her with twins. She asked after his wife and child, and Ola explained that before they got married, he asked her friend Ife out, but she didn't agree because she said she wasn't ready to get married. So she introduced Ire to him. But the day he found out he had his erection issue resolved, Ife came to seduce him at work, and because he was very happy, he got intimate with her. He said, I couldn't bear to make love to you because Ife told me you are seeing a man. I was mad at you for this. A few weeks later, Ife informed me that she was pregnant and I was very happy to marry her and send you away. But the boy got sick recently and a native doctor found out it is a bastard. So, Ife seduced me while she's already pregnant. Ola explained that he regretted all his actions and would love her to come back home. He apologized for his mom's behavior too and assured her that she would treat her well now. Yuri was shocked to hear all this. She replied that she has moved on and has forgiven him since she found out he hasn't loved her all along. She also advised him to stop ruining someone's reputation just to score cheap points or make them look bad to everyone. Yuri said that she's very happy where she is now and she's happy that they never got intimate because her husband made her a virgin. Hola was speechless because Ife had told him that Ire is a wayward girl, not knowing Ife is the one who is wayward. This is why it's not always good to act based on other people's opinion of a person. Find out who they really are. This story teaches us to treat people with kindness regardless of what we hear about them. The story also teaches us to treat people well, especially those who stayed with us in our trying times. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Please subscribe, like and share for more interesting stories. See you next time. Bye.